Hello, friends and followers. Well, I fired up the Signal One CX11. This is not the CX11A, and as it's not the CX11A, it has this HFO oscillator board full of crystals. Anyway, when I fired this thing up, it had troubles on 40 meters and most bands. The band select switch was really dirty. So when you take off the HF oscillator board, you can access the band switch here. And there it is. It's well made. However, with all these radios that are old, the middle rotating piece, which makes the connections, gets kind of worn where it hits the metal shaft, and these are no exception. You will see here, okay, if you look at that one down there, that has the brass metal shaft going through it. When I wiggle the shaft, you'll see it won't move that much. There, it's moving. Now when I go the other way, now it's moving that way. Anyway, there's a bit of play in there, and about that much play. And so what needs to line up correctly across all these may not line up exactly. So you have to look at how all these are lining up and maybe make some adjustments to the shaft, which I don't really want to do, but that's part of the game. So in the transmitter section here, this thing's really well done, by the way. It's a bit like the Drakes, but more advanced. It definitely is mil-spec. These guys were quite a crew, and every wire is numbered. It's unbelievable. Quite a crew. At any rate, I did go through here and just squirt on some Detox-It. There isn't much else I can do. The Q-tips in Detox-It can't get off the black crud in here. I scraped some of the black crud on these with a screwdriver, but you can always damage things. So now I think I'm going to put it back together and see if it works. I did put axle grease on this switch. You can see the grease in there. This thing kind of goes grinding, so that little bearing flipper thing for detents, I like to grease those just because I don't want to hear it grinding. So maybe it doesn't grind as much now, but maybe it does. Okay, so it's time to put this back together and see if it works correctly. If it still has problems here, these switches are self-cleaning, so the more you twist this thing back and forth, the cleaner they are. I did try and help them along with Detox-It, so maybe time now to put it back together and see if it works. Leave it upside down and try it. Just put this board back on and see if it'll play. All right, that's my little video on the Signal One CX11. Not the CX11A, but the CX11, which I suppose is a worse radio, but the damn thing does transmit, that's for sure. And it's a very pretty radio. The best one of the fleet. So here's the fleet. And I might favor this CX11 even over the Flex radio here. There's the SB 221. I just put the front of it back on, the new panel, and it works. I'm waiting for blank boards to come in for the ALS 1300 over there. I want to put in a 10 meter FL10 board that I'll make today for it. And then I'll close that back up. The whole, boy, this phone. Since I dropped this phone and had a wipeout in London, this phone is real crap for videos. The lenses, of course, are broken on the other side. I gotta fix those too, which I don't want to do. There's the SB104. It doesn't focus. Come on. But the phone's just spacing out. There's the SB104A down there, which I'm waiting for a power supply. And there's the venerable SBE36, which is a real junker radio that I've been working on. And there's the faithful Ten-Tech, which is sort of covered up by the covers of the SBE36, which I fixed recently. Have not been using it, but it sits there waiting for some use. At any rate, I don't think I'm going to collect any more radios. There's one guy trying to sell me a VFO for the SBE36, which I'll take him up on that just because it'd be cool to have it. And kind of running out of funds here though for hand radio projects. No job right now, so I don't really want to keep spending money on this stuff. But that's the state of the union. I really got to start studying some stuff for work, for getting a job. All right, messy room here as usual. I probably should sell this stuff off again and get rid of it all, but I like working on it. Sometimes it's therapeutic. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.